How you doing today, ladies and gentlemen? This is Foy Mullen coming to you to talk to you about a plethora of topics that's going on in the world today. Um, Let me give you just a little bit of background information about myself. I graduated from the University of Southern Methodist University in 2 degrees. I am a certified nutritionist. I'm a certified personal trainer and a licensed massage therapist. But more important than all that information, um, I am an Israelite and I am a believer of Christ and the Most High. There's a plethora of topics that I will be discussing on my channel. I will be discussing health, I will be discussing spirituality, and I will be discussing these topics of how they are very important to each other. I know that we're living in some extremely trying times right now as far as dealing with COVID-19, the pandemic, and also the brutality of our people within this society, and how this was prophesied that this would happen to us in the society. I don't believe that our people really understand the importance of nutrition as far as from a mental health standpoint. There's a reason in the scriptures that the Most High explained to us that we should not eat certain foods, because these foods have a certain effect on our minds, as we know that many scientists call the stomach or the gut our second brain. I would not be on here speaking to you if I was not a liver of nutrition and being disciplined in my eating habits and my lifestyle. Be ye doers of the word, as the scripture says. And so I believe in doing and not talking. Our people and people in general really don't understand the significance and the importance of nutrition. When you eat the wrong foods, you put the wrong foods in your body, it can make you extremely sluggish. And when you feel sluggish, and when your blood pressure is messed with, when you become big, or not necessarily it's just by gaining weight, but just not feeling good with inside your body, it has an emotional effect and a spiritual effect on the way you think, how you deal with people and relationships, how you deal with marriages, how you deal with family, and whatever aspect of life it has a tremendous effect on. This is one of the reasons in the scriptures why we were told not to eat blood, because you begin to take on a animalistic nature when you eat the blood of animals. We do also know that there are scientific facts that state that through the high enormous amount of eating animals, there's an enormous amount of disease that is found in the gut. I also would like to discuss and talk about the situation with the COVID-19, which many scientists have also said by enhancing vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin D, enhancing phytonutrients, and also antitoxins in the body can fight COVID-19. And I think it's important for us, whether you be a person of high monetary value as far as money, or a middle class person, or what society so-called calls low income person. I don't believe any person is a person of low income as far as spiritually. I believe we all have to answer to the Most High morally the same way. And I believe that whether you have $100 million in your account or negative $2 in your account, if you put the wrong foods in your body, it will take you out of here before it is your time. I would like to talk about the prophecies that we can see right now that are being fulfilled, um, of what's happening to our people systematically, um, against our rights, and the dehumanized aspect of our people within the society. What happened to George Floyd and also Ahmaud Arbery is one of the worst aspects of this world, and we can see why Christ told us, "Be ye not conformed to the things in this world, neither the things that are in it." You have to totally take your mind out of this society, whether it be food, whether it be the pagan holidays, whether it be nutrition. Because when you look systematically at American society, but especially minorities, predominantly black people and even Hispanics, Native Americans in this country, we can see the effects of nutrition, the epidemic of high obesity rates, the mortality rates on heart disease and high blood pressure, and a plethora of other cancers, breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancers, run higher within our neighborhoods and within our lineage. And I believe it's because we have went against the will of the Most High, and we were never meant for a Western diet. Heck, I don't even know if Europeans really know the effects of what they eat, how it also affects their body. I am a man of principle, and I am a man that does not believe in racism, but I do love my people. And I do love all people that recognize us as being the people of the book. And I recognize people that respect me and assert themselves with a certain dignity and morality, and a person of truth. And I think those aspects, and whoever they may come individually, deserves respect. But I do believe that we have to come against the systematic oppression and racism that has terrorized my people for over 400 years in this country. And anybody, the scripture tells us, that does not recognize who the Most High's people are, not only spiritually but physically, is the enemy of Christ and the Most High. So those people who recognize the oppression and racism within the society and are standing for, that might not necessarily be of my nation, we thank you and we appreciate you, because we understand also there is conflict and trial and tribulation that comes standing with the people who are so-called on the bottom and are oppressed. I would like to also talk about the effect that exercise has on the brain. The effect that exercise has on the brain is enormous and has a gratitude of many positive effects on your life, as far as dealing with stress levels and cortisol levels and hormones within the body. We know that cortisol levels are tied directly to blood and blood pressure. And the more that you can relax, the lower your blood pressure can be. And I don't know what you might believe in, but I believe in the one and only true Ahaya, in the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, and Yeshua, his son. And I believe in prayer, and whatever you want to call it, meditation or prayer, whatever you call it. I believe that this also helps with blood pressure and also having outlets spiritually with brothers and sisters who are believe like you, who have faith like you, or people in general that have similar interests. And I'm not talking about crazy interests, but I'm talking about the moral interests that are right and that are righteous ways of living, because these things control your mental health. And this is why I say that spirituality and the physical foods that you eat are tied to your mental and spiritual health. I'm going to get a little bit of scientific for you. And for those that you that might say and not believe that there is a God on the face of the planet, here is the aspect and questions that I have for you. There is 660 muscles in the body. There's 206 bones in your body. Every place of your body has an insertion and an organ in your body. Your heart is a muscle and your heart pumps. You're not plugged into a wall. So how does your heart keep pumping? And who controls the pumping of blood throughout your body? As we know, when we study the brain, we understand that the brain is also a muscle. And the brain sends signals for you to be able to speak and communicate effectively with other human beings, which is what we know that when we study the scriptures tells us what separates us from animals. And the question that I have for you out there is, who control the thoughts and the communication? Where do you get your thoughts from? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm just prephasing. There will be a plethora of topics that I will definitely get more entrenched into scientifically, because I believe science is a part of the Most High. When we read Daniel, we will find out that Daniel was one of the first scientists, and that we find that Abraham was very deep, and Solomon into the knowing of science. I am a liver of what I speak. If you can't tell, I do a plethora of push-ups and pull-ups. I run. I just previously had an injury on my Achilles, so I'm rehabbing that right now. So I've worked in rehab. I have been a nutritionist, which I've helped people lose 100, 200, 300, 100 pounds. So this is a person that, that actually lives. This is not just a talker. And I'm a person here to help. I believe that the Most High has called me. I believe I have a gift in helping people figure out what's best for their body, both exercise-wise and physically. But also to give you mental encouragement in the times, and for you to be brave enough to talk about and stand up against oppression when you see it. Because when you see wrong, as the officers did in the George Floyd situation, and you don't stand up against that oppression, you're just as guilty as those that look around. And when people say there are good cops, yes, I do believe that there are some good cops out there, but majority, and when we look at the systematic reign of the majority of police officers, they're not good. Because if you're going to have a situation where you have other officers stand around and watch people be murdered, to me that is not a good person. Morally, no matter who you are or what color skin you have. And that will be another subject that I will deal with on my channel, the conception of race. Because when we look in the scriptures, the Most High never dealt with race, he dealt with nations. And this is how most of the lineage is traced. We will be dealing with anthropology and the study of skull and bones, which trumps DNA. because we know that blood can be manipulated, but bones cannot. I'm just giving you a little bit of preface of what I will be dealing with on my channel. I'm also a former athlete and Dope Walk Award candidate. I will be dealing with the aspects of racism within a society of itself, or a world of itself, of being a college athlete, a pro athlete, or being an athlete even on a high school level, of dealing with the aspects of racism, of things that I see that needs to be changed. I want to thank you for your time and taking the time to look at this. It's greatly appreciated, and I pray for you and all who come to this channel who are in a righteous mindset. Thank you. You have a great day.